Mole.
Hello, I am Dan.
And I'm Can.
And this is A Pebble. Ting, a weekly short form podcast brought to you by danandcan.com.
A little extra one for you.
With a bonus.
A little bonus today.
Bonus bowl. So, Candid Conversations. In this wonderful world that we have going on right now, there's so little to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
What shall you bring forth to discuss? My life partner.
Life partner. My question for you today is, what is one thing about Christianity that you miss?
One thing about Christianity that I miss.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some people would say community, but honestly, when I look at the community that was there, it wasn't authentic.
No, it wasn't authentic. I'm trying to think too, because I don't know. I don't have an answer.
I'd say it was a place for the kids to intermingle with other respectable children, but in hindsight, really wasn't the case. There was a lot of judgment.
There was a lot of other things. Yeah.
Yeah. Constriction going on there.
Great podcast material.
Yeah. I think, I mean, there were some good lessons that came out if you take away the religiosity of it and think
some
of it
good
more,
morals that might come
think
through,
of it more as a fable of a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably some good ones that came out of that. I know I didn't like waking up and going
on Sundays. Yeah. It felt good to leave church, though, because you felt like you could check it off and you did something good.
My favorite part about Christianity was leaving Christianity.
Well, I think that for me, something that because the question is, what do you miss? And I just thought, what I do kind of miss is I do miss the image that the credibility it gave us right off the bat. Like, remember that time that you got...
That's kind of a loaded answer there, because the credibility was only amongst
the community that we were, I'm thinking family. I kind of miss being looked at as, like, someone who, people honestly, used to respect my opinion, and now they don't.
Well, people still look at you like that, because, you always say...
People that
Candi
don't believe.
was the one, in specifically regard to your family, Candi was always the one that we could go to for stuff.
Yeah.
And would be able to, and they still do.
They still do. And the problem, but some of them that are really steeped into it, they don't. Yeah. They don't even, or if I think about my parents, maybe it's just really boils down to my parents' view of me, even though my dad never said he was proud of me or nothing like that. So it's not like,
great upbringing.
I know, such a great upbringing. But I don't think his dad ever said it to him either. So,
you're here. Great.
See you again.
Oh, you're still here, huh?
But
are you 18 yet? You can be married at 18.
I think that my dad, I think that I miss. I didn't really know that I was looked at that way when I was in it.
Can I take a stab at this?
Sure.
Before you go into it, I'm not to interrupt you, but is it that you miss that this was some sort of connection? And now
I think it was I had value. But in the moment I didn't feel like I had value. I was constantly craving my dad's approval and never got it.
Yeah.
And then now looking back, I feel like I was doing all the things that he wanted. I still wasn't valuable to him at the time, but I look back and go, but I should have been. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And now it's like now everything I just said earlier is out the window because I didn't have it. I thought I had it, but I didn't have it. And then I really didn't think I had it either because I was constantly chasing it. I'm being really confusing, I'm sure, right now.
No, you're making sense.
Yes, but not to someone who's not up close in our lives. Like our listeners might be struggling to follow.
I think they can understand it too. It was basically a relationship where you were constantly trying to get the approval, but it was never given to you.
Yes.
And now,
but looking back, I was doing...
because you were doing everything that was laid out to get the approval.
Yeah.
But you weren't getting that recognition for it. And I think some of it might be because, your parents are getting older. My parents are getting older too. So, there's only so many more Christmases left.
Mm-hmm.
That you've noticed that was some sort of bond and connection you guys had.
Mm-hmm.
At least through everything, through the non-approval, the non-recognition, non-anything. We still had this thing that we could, this commonality, and that was the only thing you really had.
Well, yes, and now you've triggered like I think what it really was is I definitely was seen as a good Christian girl in the family, for sure. I was seen that way. And that was part of my identity. I guess I miss having an identity. And in my family, I don't have an identity other than the identity is a negative one in their heads that I blew up the family.
Say, you do have an identity in your family.
And it's not a pleasant one to me. And I think that is wedge. It. Yes, yeah. I look more like a villain now to them, whereas before I was seen as this good girl.
Yeah.
And they would come to me for advice, even though still some of them do, but not the really religious ones and not the ones that are kind of, but other people do that are outside of that. So I know it's something I kind of have a natural knack for is like encouraging people. I like doing that. That gives me lots of energy. I like doing that, or I wouldn't be doing the work that I do. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's, I think what I miss is that good girl image, even though living up to it is difficult.
And that's funny in and of itself because you're identifying this good girl image as a legal thing. You followed the law. You've did all this. You, by most standards, would still be considered a good girl.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's not use that terminology. That kind of emphasizes you.
Yeah,
infantilizes you.
But yes, I would be considered
you're a good woman.
A woman. Yeah, I would be I could easily, if I didn't open my mouth, people could think I was a Christian woman in a lot of ways too. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, in some ways.
Yeah.
No, because I'm married to the same man. I love you. I take care of our children.
A couple minutes
take
ago,
care of the house.
Sure.
That wasn't on the podcast,
our
discussions. Okay, that's not. We'll not get into that conversation right now.
Just a little behind the scenes. Candi needs to ask questions every now and then. It's the whole idea of strengthening an argument with insider, strengthening a belief. So every now and then she's got a question. Do I love this guy? Is he perfect for me? So then she can debate and be like, yeah, he is.
You hope that's the conclusion I come to.
It is the conclusion you come to.
Okay. Because we just got done recording a podcast, a future one, where we were talking about
this. Is an example of 27 years of marriage and knowing each other again. I know this about you. So there's going to be times where you look at me
Were you a little nervous when I said, I don't know?
I had a process for a second, be like, oh, she's in one of these phases of... She's got to figure it out, and she's just questioning.
She's got to figure it out. I'm perfect for her. I'm perfect for her.
She's just questioning her faith. So it's all right. It's going to be all right, big guy. You're still in, hopefully. But I know you. I understand this. This is how you process. And people, if you ever interact with Candi, and sometimes she's like, I don't know. Should we hang out anymore? Let me think about it. It's just natural for her. She's just questioning it to make sure and strengthen that bond.
Yeah. So, and then if I don't hang out with someone just because I used to hang out with people because I felt like I had to sometimes, right? And now I'm doing it because I choose to, because I want to be around you. So yeah, it's a different, and that is true. I am asking myself, do I want to do this, or is it just because I feel like I have to? I am feeling pressured.
It's what we talk about all the time. If you want to have strong faith, if your faith is strong, you're willing to challenge it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all you're doing.
Yeah.
You just make sure it's held up. I understand this.
Yes. So back to the subject. My image in Christianity is crumbling very quickly because you're showing behind the scenes. No,
I get you, babe.
I mean, honestly, if we're walking, I guess not. We don't really have that image anymore because our kids have colorful hair. They have piercings and tattoos, some of them, right?
Yeah.
So the image is shot to the...
I think by the time all of them are 20, they're all going to be tatted in one way or another. So that's...
Now we have to get our tattoos.
Yeah, I just can't commit to anything. Because I think, well, that'd be cool. And then 3 days later, I'd be like, that'd been dumb.
I know, that's me, but maybe there's something that you and I could have tattooed together. Remember when I was like, let's tattoo let's get rid of our wedding rings and tattoo rings. And you're like, that's a little bit white trash to me. Now I think about it, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do that. But, I don't knock anybody who does it like you did.
It's just not my style. So, anyways, back to your progress with your family. There's a different image of you and it's not the same.
I think that's just all it is I miss the image was more favorable towards me and maybe more.
And the thing is, do you really miss it though? Because there was a lot of strings that came with that.
Yeah, I don't miss that part.
Because then you were a people pleaser and I was definitely a people pleaser. You were expected to do a lot of things.
When there was a problem, Candi was expected to show up and help.
If you got a problem, check out this hook while Candi revolves it.
That was very true. If there was issues,
you were also the one that had to plan events and organize it.
Keep the family kind of going together, connecting.
And
keep it connected.
There's another wedge that you became there too, because you were like, no, I'm not going to be this people pleaser and I'm not going to take on this burden every time to plan this shit. Yeah. Some of you guys can help shoulder it. Yeah. And the events fell off.
Yeah.
They never happened.
And then I got blamed for that. And it's like, I didn't say we don't do it. I said, it's got to be shared, period. It's not going to be just me. Yeah. Or just us. But so I guess I don't even really miss that because I think I miss the idea of what it was. Yeah. The idea that I was loved and accepted, but I wasn't loved and accepted as I am. I was loved and accepted because I was filling a role that they needed.
Yeah, and you served a purpose for their own desires. I don't miss that.
Yeah.
So
is there anything about Christianity that we miss? Ooh. I don't even think there's many of I'm trying to think. I miss some of the relationships, but the relationships now I know were not built on authenticity. They were built on same thing, this role that I was filling.
Yeah.
People pleasing and that kind of stuff.
There's something to go off on too, is just that role. Once you broke away and had the initial one, a lot of relationships broke off.
Oh man, your relationship, there's no way around it, I don't think, for deconstructing. You're going to lose relationships.
But you started realizing after a while I was being used in that relationship a lot.
Yeah.
Or this person, it wasn't reciprocating what they were doing in the relationship. I was given a lot into it.
There's a lot of give and a lot of all of the give and all of the take were on opposing sides instead of every person giving and taking.
Yeah.
It was a lot of give and the other would a lot of taking. And I may have been the taker in some relationships too. I mean, I don't know. That's entirely possible.
Yeah.
But people pleasers tend to like give, but it's a form of people pleasing is a form of manipulation too. It's manipulating to stay safe. You're not doing it, maliciously. You're doing it subconsciously to stay safe because you learned early on, if I act and do and say these things, it keeps me safe.
Yeah.
So I don't miss I guess I miss who I thought the people were.
Yeah.
I could say that. But, then you make new relationships. There's so many relationships that we have now that we wouldn't have had we still been in Christianity. We just would not have them.
No.
And I wouldn't give those relationships up because I feel like they know me and they just love me as me. And I'm not pretending anymore.
You wouldn't have been able to operate in the relationships as you do now, too, because you constantly would have been saying, I have to save this person.
Yeah, you look at them as someone you need to save. You constantly need to be bringing up Jesus.
Yeah.
And instead of just being yourself and talking about whatever is on your mind and heart at the time, and it's not constantly Jesus, because that was, let's be honest, when people talk like that, it is annoying. It's annoying.
It is. It's pretty one note.
Yeah, it is. And
it's good to have a conversation on multiple things.
I don't mind talking about spiritual stuff. I don't mind talking about God, universe, whatever. That stuff interests me big time. But when it's about Jesus getting saved and, you need to start living.
Well, you want new material.
I want stuff that actually I can relate to, that inspires me, that intrigues me, that challenges me. Yeah. The idea of the Christian message doesn't challenge at all. It challenges you to live a certain way like everybody else in their bubble.
You want new gifts presented to you. You don't want to get a Discman 2 years in a row for Christmas.
I think it was more like 3.
Just different packaging. Yeah. And that's what Christian...
Guys, okay, side note on you now.
I was young and dumb.
Oh, so you have an excuse. You can just get out of this, right? Yeah. He got me a Walkman. I think it was 3 years in a row for my birthday, till finally I said, hey, I don't like getting the same present.
You kept breaking them.
Did I? I think I just accrued. Hey, I think they went in a drawer.
That Walkman, it had...
There was one, the yellow and black one. That was the nicest one.
Yeah, it had skip function. Okay, it had
it still skipped sometimes, though.
Yeah, and
it wasn't perfect.
It would drain the batteries in like 3 minutes when you're on anti-skip. Exactly. And you could go to any song, any of the 12 songs on that CD. You could pick at any time you wanted.
And you don't even. And you know how when they used to buy them by the album, there were some songs on there you're like, ugh, I don't want this song, but it's there. Out of the 12, you should be able to pick the 12 favorite songs ever.
You've been spoiled by modern technology.
Then, this is a more recent one. This one isn't a young and dumb one. More recently, he has gotten into buying me different massage things, like a hand massager, which fine, great.
Because you didn't work that good. Because you were writing a lot of letters, and I knew your hands needed a little.
I know why you did it. It was thoughtful. A neck massager.
Okay, but the difference is
a back massager, a leg thing massager. Like what am I like? Do I feel uptight? And you were like, loosen up, massage those muscles.
Okay, couple things here. What? One, the Discman was your main gift and only gift that year.
That's true. Now these are supplemental. Like, but these are like birthday presents sometimes, and I'm like, I could use without the massager. No, it's the main present on my birthday.
Of gifts that you're given at this time because it's Christmas, birthday.
I know. I can't help that my birthday falls. Bang. I can't help when my birthday falls. Don't punish me like my parents did.
And second of all, sometimes I get inspired by TikTok and I see something like, oh, she would like that. Yeah, I don't think about, I bought her one last year.
Okay, so you got caught in the trap of consumerism. But I'm just saying the massagers, I have enough. I can massage every single part of myself, except for my feet. Have you ever got me a foot massager? No, because you're my foot massager, and that's the way it's going to stay. Okay, buddy? I like you to massage my feet.
Get Candi a foot massager for
no,
Christmas.
I will not use it. I will still put my feet on your lap.
It's noted. No. Christmas ideas.
It's not happening.
I have Christmas
Don't
ideas.
Do it.
I keep
then maybe we aren't meant to stay together.
Oh wow, you're gonna throw that grenade out.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it all the way back around to before we even hit record.
So your family.
Well, it is what it is, buddy.
It is what it is. Wow, that one kind of went off some tangents there.
That's all right. That's
you see what we're all about. Yeah, Christianity. There's not a ton that, because you start going, and it's not like it was this awful breakup and contentious divorce or anything like that.
It's a slow burn in hatred towards Christianity. It's slow. We didn't start out now. I don't like the system. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I don't hate Christians, but I do not like the system. I do hate the system, I think. And I think Jesus did too.
Hate the system, not the system followers.
There you go. But that is true. We hate the... Yeah. I think Jesus did too. He hated the religious... getting trapped there. I understand religion can kind of push you in a direction toward this higher understanding a higher power or source. That's, I think, what it's for, but it is not to get stuck. You should not get stuck in it. And then Christians, this is how they try to get out of it. Well, we're not religious. We're not a religion. Yes, you are. If there are rules that have to be followed, a system that has to be held to, beliefs that you cannot let go of, even though there's contradictory evidence in front of you, if you have to hold to that belief in order to stay in that group, it's a religion. Yeah. And that's what happened to us. Our beliefs changed, and so we were kicked out.
Yeah. Or we left.
We left. So, and then in some ways we were kind of kicked. We were shunned.
But I wouldn't say we have this contentious divorce from it.
No.
It's more of a, okay, we made a mistake. We understand that.
It's more of a, man.
We've learned from that and moved on, and it's not something we're going to go back to.
Well, I didn't make a mistake. You didn't either. You were born into Catholicism. Yeah. We were born into something. We didn't make a mistake. We were born into something. We were programmed.
Yeah.
And we've discovered it wasn't real.
Yeah.
So it's not really a mistake. We didn't make a mistake. We discovered we were in a cult.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, we didn't go into it willingly. We were groomed into it.
Yeah. So, yeah, to kind of wrap it up, to think of anything missed, no, I wouldn't say I was missing it, Bob. Where's that from?
What about Bob?
You've been missing a lot of work lately.
Is that from The Office Space?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I've been missing it, Bob. Yeah, haven't been missing anything really from it. I mean, it was just a learning experience in our journey that we've gone on. Mm-hmm. And it's something we can use.
It's part of help shape us into what we know about the world today, I guess.
Yeah. So, yeah. I think that puts a bow on it, and you got some behind the scenes ideas from how we operate. Mm-hmm. So
take it or leave it.
Expose ourselves again to a national audience. Enjoy, folks. Feast on that.
Dan and Can.
Will
they be together on the next episode? Who knows?
Candy's got to think about it. I'll be here. Question is, will the shiny, happy face on the cross for me be a hair also? So
that would be sad. You just doing the podcast all by yourself?
Yeah. I don't know.
We could put like a picture, like a little paper smiley face.
I'll draw a picture.
Really?
That'll look great.
Be like, it's her, guys. And then you're just like delusional, and people are like, they feel bad for you, and they're like, we have to let him, somebody should tell him that it's not really her. No, guys, just let him believe that that's her.
It'll be like them TikToks where they're like, we draw each other.
We should do that on one. Let's do that on one. Okay. Since we do video, it wouldn't be good for podcast, would it?
No, it'd have to be a YouTube thing.
Okay. Well, we could do just for YouTube. We could do some fun ones just for YouTube sometime.
Yeah, we got to start.
When we have more time. We have a lot going on at the same time, though.
Yeah.
So
we'll get there. We'll start putting out some shorts and stuff, or not shorts, but actual videos. But speaking of which, go to YouTube. If you're watching on there, hit like and subscribe. Smash that like, hit that subscribe. We appreciate it. DannyCan.com, go there. Check out everything DannyCan.com. Dan and Can related, Dropstones related, Transform Life related, book a session with Candi. You can get her link to her blogs are on there, and her new Substack is on there also. She's got that going for her. And
I've started a new Substack. I've started Substack. Still learn how to use it, but I'm going to have a subscribe section. I'd love it if you guys would subscribe. It would help support us so that we can keep doing these things. You know, all this stuff adds up in expense. So we would just love it if you would help us. If you like what we're doing, just any way you can do that, or just even liking and following. And as Dan would say, smash that like button on YouTube.
Smash that like.
Follow, boom. Share.
Yeah. And if you're listening on a podcast device, Apple or Spotify, please give us a rating, 5 stars, and comment.
Follow.
Whatever reason, it pushes the algorithm, just like anything else, TikTok, whatever. When you get more likes, more comments, more shares, it pushes it out to more people, and that helps us grow. So if you could do that for us, we'd appreciate it. And remember, listen to us.
Because our opinions matter to us.
Bye. Bye.